This was my question. And finally we come to that stage that we run away from the reality. As long as the, Akalesh Chandnari, it is all about a film team in 1980 who just invade a rural Bengal to make a film about to recreate the famine of 1943. So now both 43 famine and the present day period 1918, both the two periods get mixed up. And so this is what we try to show, how as long as we have a sense of historicity, as long as we know the performances of the tools that are employed in the making of the film, well, we feel very safe. But finally, when surreptitiously, stealthily, when the past walks into the present and you have to look into it, you get scared, you run away from the reality. That is exactly what was my plan in Akalesh Chandnari. This is what we try to do. So we have been exploiting this situation. And I remember about a 10-year-old girl with whom I was very, very chummy. I became very friendly with her, a girl, and she was always with me, and she wanted to come with me. And towards the end, if you remember, towards the end when the team packs off and comes back to the city, you find a small girl holding a box of powder, and she is standing there near the pillar, close to the pillar. And it was not in the script. She is the girl I am talking about. She was always with me, and we thought of having the last sequence, pack-off sequence, the day we will pack off. So I found her there very early in the morning, standing outside, and I came out, and she asked me, "Are you leaving today?" I said, "Yes." "Will you come with me?" "No, my father won't allow me to go with you." "Will you care for tea?" I said, "No." And then suddenly I remembered my wife gave me powder, because during summer when I work, I get a lot of rashes here because of sweat. So, and the doctor asked me to put powder here. But I am very much against the men using perfume or powder. So it was like that. I gave it to her, and she ran away and came back after a couple of minutes with powder all over the face. So I brought close to me and I told her how to use powder. And then when towards the end, when I was watching, I was taking the last sequence, they were going away, I found her behind me. I looked at her. I asked her, "What about your powder box?" And she immediately ran away and came back with the powder box. And she thought I would take it back. But then I asked her to stand there. And I remember when we were going away, and I found her as much as I could see, she was running after us. She was chasing us. So what did we do? We put the poverty and the whole thing into the cans. And we go back to our places. And then the film will be shown to different areas, even to the foreign countries where it would perhaps bag an award. It did eventually. And then I will forget all about these people. But if you ask me this question, whether I got involved or not during the shooting, well, I would say, of course I did. I got involved. I developed a kind of respect for the circumstances in which these people lived. But after that, what happens? After that, I keep on telling the stories. I keep on telling the stories very respectfully, but I forget all about them. In a way, we exploit the situations, and there is no way out. We cannot, by just waving a magic wand, we can't do anything. By making a film, we can't do anything to the society, to the economic structure of the society. We can't do anything. But then in a way, we are using them. We are using them, and we feel very happy when we are very nice to them, that's all. I remember to have gone back to that place, and I remember to have met the girl 3 years later with a friend of mine, Reinhard Hoff, who made a film on me. And when I told him the story of this girl, because she didn't show her face for 6 months. She came to Calcutta to work in cinema. And she thought she would be able to find me, but Calcutta is such a sprawling city, she couldn't find me. She came back after 6 months. And she wanted to meet, she wanted to meet me everywhere. But finally I went there after 3 years. I found her to be the same as she was. So you have a sense of guilt all the time. And this is what I tried to say in the film.
Do you think, other than guilt, there is also a sense of helplessness and impotence? You're admitting that your craft is not enough, that what you filmmakers...
Well, of course I do. That is also there. That is also there because I feel that I'm very helpless. I can't do anything about it. But then, even then, talking about it, even then, the moment I bring in this element of helplessness, element of, what I would say, the guilt, as I said, and as I have been doing, if these can be made to surface on the film, these do something about the, this is what perhaps we aim at. We try to disturb the people. It is, if we can disturb my spectator in some way or the other, if I can raise a question in my spectator, if I can provoke the spectators to have discussions among themselves, that is good enough. Let us go back to Courage. When Courage was being televised, I know many families in Calcutta who asked their servant boys to take leave, to go away, because they would be watching themselves. They came to know about the film, but they didn't see this film. So they didn't want to see the film along with their boy servants, because they didn't want to share the feelings with them. That was it. That way, I think that we are partly successful.
In Akale Chandane, there's that scene where I think Sheila Mazumdar, who plays the village girl, she's watching Smita playing a role, and there is a fusion between reality and fantasy.
Yes.
And can you talk about how you scripted it? Was it in the script or did it happen? How it evolved?
It was in the script, but as I always do, I have somewhat of a script. But then, when I'm on the location or when I'm working inside the studios, what happens? A kind of interaction takes place between me and the actors in an atmosphere, in a climate, in a situation, in a setup which I so much desire to build. And you never know how the chemistry operates, but it does. And something happens. I keep on improvising things. And this is what happened to Akale Chandane in very large measure, because I went to a village which was very, very poor village. And I had been mixing with the people, and I was very friendly with them. I was very chummy with them. And very honestly, I felt for them. They also did the same thing to me, and they could realize that there could be a rapport between me and them, and that was how the whole thing grew. And the actors also helped in enormous measure. And that particular scene when Sheila Mazumdar, a poor villager, in 1980, she was watching the whole thing. And she could somehow or other, she could find a logic about her own existence in this particular actress. That was how she felt very close to her. And that was why, towards the end, she came to this actress and told her about her predicament. It was that.